I'm starting to think that Sims players have an exploitation kink. I'm deadass. Because if you missed it, the 80th DLC for The Sims 4 came out just a few days ago. And within 24 hours, the Sims girlies and gazies online were already asking for the next DLC. The fuck? Am I the crazy one? This was literally days after the 80th DLC came out, and you're already saying I want another one? Is this overconsumption core? I don't even think we can blame EA at this point. For a decade, you guys have accepted the buggy, half-baked, overpriced DLC that have been chopped up into little pieces and served to you a la carte. Is that how you say it? A la carte? It's like if you went to McDonald's and ordered a number 5 and then they said, oh, I'm sorry, but you have to pay for each individual French fry separately. And it's also gonna be like $1,000. And instead of doing the normal thing and driving your ass right on home and making some Kraft mac and cheese, you gave them your card. And still, the fries were soggy. And when it comes to the future of the life sim genre, babes, I'm not one to kink shame, but I'm starting to think that many Sims players will only accept a new life sim game if they can be exploited by it. Because there's been a sprinkling of life sim games out there that are being developed by small and indie studios. There's Paralives, Vivaland, 2Pixelia, Tiny Life, just to name a few. And while you'd think life sim players would welcome these new additions to the genre with open arms, the extreme judgment and criticism we see toward these games says otherwise. Let me show you what I'm talking about. People are calling Paralives cheap, sterile, lifeless and cold, and they said it looks like a mobile game ad. They're saying Vivaland is soulless, plasticky, cheap, and full of red flags. And even poor little 2Pixelia, an upcoming pixel life sim, which from my understanding is being developed by a single person, they're calling an underwhelming ripoff. These are indie games with small teams and small budgets, yet some of you are mad that they're not on the same level as The Sims. What? I don't think I have to explain why it's unfair to expect anywhere near the same results from these games as you would The Sims. Nonetheless, that's what some people appear to expect. The thing is, life sim players will complain day and night about wanting new life sim games and how The Sims needs competition. Yet they tear every game to shreds if it's not on the same level as The Sims. And look, I'm not saying criticism is bad. I love critique. I think it's absolutely necessary, but your criticism should be grounded in reality.
Whoa, she's furious.
And the reality is that these games have limited budgets and limited manpower. They don't have the backing of one of the world's largest video game companies. Some of them don't have any investors at all. So needless to say, I fear that some of you expect way too much. And when I was reading those comments earlier about Paralives and stuff, it reminded me of a video I made over a year ago about Life by You. Major disappointment, extremely underwhelmed, lifeless, sterile, so disappointing and soulless.
Oh my god.
Awful, ugly, unnatural, bland, and lifeless.
Fake, insincere.
Those were the things people were saying about Life by You at the time, and we all know what happened with that game. When it comes to the behavior of some people in this community, history really does repeat itself. If you missed Paralives' announcement earlier this year, they said that game will never have paid DLC. Some of us applauded them, but there was a whole crop of people who, to this day, are saying that they're worried about Paralives and that the game isn't sustainable. Are you joking? And you might be wondering, not Malcolm, who are these people who are so worried about the financial future of Paralives? The game's developers themselves? Jeff in accounting? Who are these people that worry about not being exploited? Guess. Many of them are Sims 4 players themselves. I think they actually have nightmares where they're living in a world where games aren't draining their pockets. But luckily for these people, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and sadly, it's not a freight train. There's another life sim game out there that's just for you guys, the Sims 4 players with the exploitation kink. Any guesses? Your savior is here. It's inZOI. because inZOI's parent company, Krafton, has a track record that rivals EA when it comes to predatory monetization practices. I did my research on Wikipedia, bruh, and I could not find a single game made by Krafton that does not have microtransactions. That tells you all you need to know. Capitalism, greed. I bet your jockstrap is already soaked. So congratulations are in order, because LifeSim players have been begging for years for an alternative to The Sims, and they're finally getting it. Except it's The Sims 4 all over again, but prettier. And before people start calling me an inZOI hater, actually it's too late, you guys have already been calling me a hater for months. I'm not saying inZOI won't innovate or add anything new or unique to the genre, but it is The Sims 4 all over again, not just in the sense that it's marketed to 12-year-olds, but also in the sense that it's made by yet another giant corporation that will inevitably nickel and dime consumers for years to come. But as we've already established, some Sims players just love being exploited financially. Anyway, something tells me Krafton is well aware of the Sims players' financial habits, we'll say.
Get your money, 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 money.
But it's not just the financial exploitation that Sims players have to look forward to with inZOI.
This video was presented by the EA Creator Network.
As many of you know, The Sims 4 has a whole damn marketing army called the Creator Network. You've probably seen them on Twitter. I don't really know what they do on there besides give away free packs and use the EA partner hashtag on every post they make. But on YouTube, they're a powerful force because they market the game. They hype up the DLC. They get people excited, they get the engagement, and in turn, the conversions, aka they get people to buy DLC. And while some of these EA partners are more honest than others about the state of the DLC and the franchise as a whole, there's still so much fakery and there's so much sugarcoating going on with some of these EA partners. That's why so many people look to the more critical Sims YouTubers and stuff to get honest opinions about DLC and The Sims 4 in general, because they simply cannot trust the EA partners.
So for my score with this pack, I think I'd give it a 9. I can't give it a 9.5.
My overall score of The Sims 4 for rent is a 4 out of 10.
But what do EA partners have to do with inZOI? Well, unfortunately, or fortunately for those with the exploitation kink, we're just now seeing the beginnings of the inZOI partner program.
No comment.
That's right, the shills are already shilling for inZOI. There are entire channels that have cropped up recently that are devoted to waxing poetic about inZOI. And furthermore, just in the last few days, I've seen several content creators, all of them Simmers by the way, on social media proudly unboxing gifted merchandise from inZOI in order to promote the game. If you remember, there was a group of YouTubers last year who playtested inZOI. For many of them, their inZOI videos were their most successful videos to date, by far.
Thank God.
And they got free gaming PCs for doing it, so from their perspective, they're probably like, why not shill this game?
No comment.
But my concern with inZOI paying or sponsoring content creators is the same concern I have with The Sims 4 sponsoring content creators. I don't trust you. I don't trust that we're getting true, honest feedback. And regardless of what anyone says or how many people try to defend them in the comments, when you're getting paid and getting gifts in order to promote or review a product, you have an inherent bias. Even if you think you're the most honest person in the world, you're not. Hot take, but I don't think video game channels should be getting sponsorships from video game companies, just like I wouldn't expect a book channel that reviews and recommends books, or a movie channel that reviews and recommends movies to get paid by a book publisher or a film company. That's a conflict of interest. That's absurd. Why are people okay with this? If you don't know, I was actually invited to be an inZOI influencer before I was kicked out for asking controversial questions. Anyway, James Turner and like 50 other content creators were in that special group Actually, funny story. I don't know if I want to mention this guy by name, but if you follow me on Twitter, you know who it is. There was one of these content creators who was in the inZOI influencers group. And a few weeks ago on Twitter, he was like hyping up inZOI nonstop, like 10 to 15 posts a day about the game. So I asked him innocently, hey bruh, are you like getting paid by inZOI? Cause it's not normal to hype up something this much, especially as an influencer. You usually don't hype up things unless you're getting paid to do it. And after I asked that, he blocked me. But then lo and behold, a few weeks later, he's unboxing gifts from inZOI on his YouTube channel, and he even added official inZOI partner to his YouTube bio.
So how have you the audacity?
So yeah, the inZOI partner program is here, The Sims 4 2.0. As some of my haters already have, you can call me delusional and insufferable and the clickbait king, but you cannot say that I'm ever wrong. Let me rephrase that. But you cannot say that I don't have a knack for calling out shills when I see them. Anyway, you'll probably be hearing a lot more about inZOI in the coming weeks. So just stay vigilant, stay alert. If you see something, say something. And I'll see you in the next one.
you